Is that gonna fit everyone?
Yeah, easily. 12 customers total.
How do they turn a profit?
$12.50 a head, that's how.
What, are we eating a Rolex?
First, I want to say thank you for chatting with me, and I really enjoyed the film. And I love how it excoriates kind of dilettantes and privilege, and it investigates class. And I wonder, Nick, if you would talk a little bit about how some of that is seen through your character, who's a foodie who can't, when it comes down to it, really doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, Tyler is someone who's so desperate to be accepted into that world, and I think in many ways he's lonely, and he gets kind of slightly brainwashed into this cult somewhat by Chef Slowick. And this is probably, for him, it's probably a restaurant that he's been wanting to go to for years and years and years. He's saved up. This is the biggest night of his life, and he's prepared meticulously in terms of, like, he knows what all the ingredients are. He knows exactly how things are made, all the gadgets in the kitchen. But then gradually, even though this is like the most important night of his life, it just gradually starts to unravel and get picked apart by Chef Slowick and by Margot not playing her part and being the perfect date. And so it all crumbles around him, essentially. Yeah.
Thank you. And Anya, your character is really important. She's the pivotal piece of this film, really, because Chef has this idea of us versus them, and you're with the service industry by virtue of your being there. And I wonder if you would talk a little bit about how the film investigates class in that way.
Absolutely. I mean, I think Chef Slowick is on a revenge war-path. And I mean, Mark described me, or Margot the other day, as a fly in the ointment, which should be insulting, and yet I think it's like pretty accurate in terms of the way that Chef feels about her. The whole thing with the haves and the have-nots is, for the have-nots, there's a massive resentment. Specifically in this industry, it's because they're pouring so much love into what they do, and the haves in this particular film are so blinded by their entire privilege and they're not there for the right reasons. They're there to boast. They're there to flaunt their privilege to other people. They're not there to enjoy the food. So yeah, I think we're definitely skewering the haves in this situation, but hopefully by the end of the film, I think they all come to an understanding and, understand why they're there, really.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Also, I wanted to just ask you about that scene. I thought it was kind of brilliant when the men run off, or they're forced to run off for their transgressions against women, and the women get to have that course. But then at the end, that's really the only punishment, is that they had to run off for a bit. I wonder if you would talk a little bit about how the film takes on I think the idea that the men aren't really very punished for supposed transgressions. Does that make sense? Yeah, I had to think about it that way, because there's really no other punishment other than they have to run off in that moment. And I think that's actually quite accurate.
Well, it's funny because it's deeply emasculating. And when you're watching it, it's completely turning on its head, the idea of the brave.
Oh yeah, they're all pathetic.
Man, I mean, it's pathetic with a capital P.
And then once the men have all gone,
they
just go back into the restaurant and have, like, not a nice meal, but there's a warmth and an understanding and acceptance between them. I don't know why I'm talking about.
No, but this is great.
What the scene is.
Yeah, I mean, I think, listen, equality is possible. It is only possible through slow, consistent pressure forward, and we just cannot afford to not hold the line. So I do think that there is an element of potentially Chef understanding that, he deserves to be punished in that instance by a sous chef. But yes, I agree with you. I think it's going to take a little bit before things are completely equal.